What's up, blockchain? This is Nick from Truth Blitz. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let's take a quick look at the market, and then I want to talk about Silvertooth's video that he made today, titled "The War on Cryptos." So I'm gonna just talk about my take on that. Some of the points that he made that I agree with, some that I don't. But first, let's get into this. It's funny, I'm watching every day. There's a few more cryptocurrencies being added to CoinMarketCap. Right now we're at 1506. Just a few months ago we were still under 1,000 listed on CoinMarketCap anyway. So but anyway, right now 505, just under $506 billion overall market cap. Bitcoin dominance 33.5%, and Bitcoin is $10,076. So we are 100% still in pullback mode. However, there are a few that are doing well still, Pillar being one of them. Let's take a look at Pillar. Right now we're up 11.07% at $1.53. So as you know, I'm very bullish on Pillar. Pillar is the bigger part of my portfolio, or the biggest part I should say. So I'm happy to see that. So anyway, Silvertooth's video. So he made a video today, and I will link it in the description, where he's talking about a lot of these things that are happening in the crypto space that he believes are all orchestrated and tied together, orchestrated by the US government to basically scare you and me out of crypto, scare the average citizen out of the crypto space, or scare them enough so that they don't get into the crypto space. Now, he cited a few different things that have happened recently, and I'm going to talk about a few of those. He talked about a couple different exchange attacks, well, one being EtherDelta. Now, EtherDelta, I don't think that was orchestrated, that was the government or somebody hired by the government to do that. There are hackers all over that are good at what they do, that have the capability to hack into something like the domain server that EtherDelta is on. I mean, there have been young kids that have been hackers that have hacked into high-level government databases and websites. So my point is, if that could happen, it is certain that somebody could hack into something like EtherDelta and divert transactions into their own private wallet, which is essentially what happened. Now he also mentioned HitBTC, and HitBTC is a shitty exchange. I'm going to say that 100% right off the bat, and I'll tell you why. Now, he cited that he was not able to get on. There have been issues with DNS attacks, or what they say were DNS attacks. Now, what I think is happening here is HitBTC is just an exchange that, first of all, they're greedy. They don't want to lose money. So, when there are price rises or drops, there's a DNS attack. So people can't go and sell their specific coin, such as Pillar, on the high, or go buy a ton of it on the low, and then they would lose out. So essentially what I think is happening is they don't have the amount that they claim to have. So if they allowed a bunch of people to go sell X amount of whatever, or buy X amount of whatever, they don't have enough to cover that. They don't have enough either Ethereum to cover if somebody wants to sell, or Bitcoin, or you know, say something drops substantially, a bunch of people were going to come in and buy it, and we'll just say Pillar for an example. They may not have that amount of Pillar to cover that amount of buy orders. Okay, so HitBTC, I'll tell you what, I've used them a couple times, and the last time I tried to use them is during the Ether Delta hack. I tried to get some more Populous. Now I went and I didn't buy the Populous, but I went to go check how much before I made the buy order. I went to go check how much their fees were to withdraw. Their fees to withdraw any amount of Populous was 2 PPT tokens. All right, so you do the math, and this was only, you remember when the Ether Delta hack was, so PPT was not as expensive as it is now, but it was still very expensive. So I want to say it was probably around 60 something dollars. All right, you do the math, so we're talking 130 bucks. It didn't matter if I bought 3 PPT tokens, they were taking 2 as a withdrawal fee. All right, so from then on, I've never used HitBTC again. I will never use HitBTC again. But I don't think there's any correlation between that, you know, what they're claiming are DNS attacks, and the so-called war on cryptos. And I'm not saying there's not a war on cryptos, so, you know, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. So we'll talk about the Bitconnect debacle. We'll call it a debacle. So just about everybody knows what's going on with Bitconnect. There are major lawsuits happening. I just saw this today. U.S. court freezes Bitconnect assets as lawsuits mount. So he being Silvertooth, mentioned that, you know, the people who are basically pumping Bitconnect, Craig Grant, Trayvon James, these big YouTube personalities, these Bitconnect talking heads, are named in one of the lawsuits. Now, he doesn't feel that should be the case, and that they shouldn't be named in the lawsuits. I disagree with that, because they had a big platform. Okay, they misrepresented, and I can guarantee you they fully knew what was going on. They were on the inside. They weren't victims. All right, they were not victims. They knew what was going on. And the minute they put their referral link up for their subscribers to sign up and potentially lose their money, okay, they become liable, in my opinion. Okay, and I guess the courts will decide, you know, if they are going to be liable, or, you know, if they were just taken like everyone else. But I think that we'll uncover, you know, in these lawsuits, things will be uncovered that will show that they were fully aware of what was going on, and they weren't just taken like everyone else. So I believe they were liable. I believe that they should be named in those lawsuits, because they used their subscribers to profit for themselves. Okay? They didn't put their referral link up to help everyone out. Hey, get into Bitconnect, I'm doing so well. Although that's what they said. All right? But it was purely to get people to sign up under them so that they can profit. That's it. Okay? Now, that's how a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme works. Okay? And they were, unfortunately for them, closer to the top of that pyramid. So that's I don't now one thing I do believe, all right, so they are using this lawsuit, and I do think that the US government, whether they want to come out and say it or not, they don't like cryptos. All right? They do see it as a threat. And you know, if they had it their way, they would eliminate the crypto space altogether. All right? So the US government is known for using Hegelian dialectic, all right? Problem, reaction, solution. That's what they're known for. So will they try to use this Bitconnect as a test case to usher in more regulation? Yeah, they very well might. All right. You know, like Silvertooth said, they, you know, they're going to probably say something along the lines of, oh, well, you know, if there was regulation in place, this wouldn't have happened and these people wouldn't have lost their money. So you guys need us. You guys need regulation. That might happen. You know, just like, all right, I'm going to use this as an example. Problem, reaction, solution. Okay. The US government created ISIS. Not directly, but if you look back at the war in Afghanistan in the 80s, during the end of the Cold War, between Russia and the Mujahideen, okay, we went in Black Ops style. We armed the Mujahideen. We funded them so that they would beat Russia. It was a proxy war, okay? Then we pulled out and left, all right, and left Afghanistan in shambles. We did nothing to help them rebuild, to help them get back up and running. We just pulled out 100%. So what happened after that? Okay, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and what happened after that? The towers fell. We go back in, and pretty much the same thing happens. All right, we beat them and pull out, and ISIS is now here. So what came from that, though, is my point. The Patriot Act, which, if you don't know what the Patriot Act is, it strips away many of our liberties, okay? So, problem, reaction, solution, okay? The solution is we need to come in and do this to make sure you, the citizen, the peasant, are safe. It's for your own good. So I'm using this analogy because it could very well be a similar situation, or it could end up that way. You know, we need to come in and make sure that we fully regulate this space so that you guys are okay. Now, you know, I'm sorry that we need to take away your choice in, you know, whether you want to invest in this or that or whatever. But we're basically saying that we know best. You know, you shouldn't be able to make that decision. You're not a big boy or girl. We need to hold your hand and basically decide what's best for you. So similar type of situation could very well arise out of that. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is this whole thing that's going on with Tether. Now, that, for those who don't know, Tether is being I I don't know the whole story behind it yet, but they're basically looking at, the US government's looking at Tether. They want to know what's going on. There's a lot of fear that Tether will basically be taken down, won't be able to operate. So that I can see, because we're talking about a crypto that's tied to the US dollar, that the US government, the Federal Reserve, the central banks don't control. Okay, so it's like in their eyes, they're like, well, who are you to make a crypto that's tied to the dollar that we don't run? So now I don't know for sure what's going to happen with this, but I could see them basically, I could see them forcing regulation, forcing them to shut down, making it illegal to use Tether or have it listed on an exchange in the US. And then again, problem, reaction, solution. Their solution would be to come up with their own crypto tied to the dollar that they control. Now, I'm just grasping at straws here, but it's possible. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that, with the whole Tether situation. I need to, and I'll be 100% honest with you, I need to look more into it. I've seen the headlines. I haven't read any of the articles yet. I haven't watched any of the videos yet, but I do know that the government is, and let's see if there's anything right here about Tether. Anything in here? And there's something else I'll talk about here too. I don't see anything here right now. But anyway, here's another thing that I saw yesterday that we'll talk about that could have something to do with this. Facebook bans cryptocurrency ICO ads because of deceptive promotional practices. Not just ICOs, but anything having to do with cryptocurrencies, any ad that has to do with cryptocurrencies, Facebook is now making it illegal to run. If you get caught running an ad that has to do with cryptocurrencies, your account will be banned. Now, if you want me to get conspiratorial again, the CIA set up Facebook to gain information on people. People willingly give up their information and tell the world every move they're making, from, hey, I'm going to take a shit, to this is what I'm eating for dinner. All right. These are all my friends. This is what we're doing tonight. Again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so, it is what it is. Regardless, my point is, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who runs Facebook, who owns Facebook, is 100% an establishment pawn. Okay, he is establishment. All right, he's part of the system. So for Facebook now to come out and ban ads, that does raise some red flags to me, and I don't think Silvertooth talked about that in his video. This isn't really to protect the person, to protect the user, to make sure they don't get scammed like they are pushing it. I believe this is fully to, to try to stop people from getting into cryptocurrencies. People who maybe would have got into it through seeing an ad on Facebook. So again, that's my theory on that. Now, the tax situation. I don't know if the like-kind exchange section of the new tax bill is to get people to not be in the crypto space, or to get out of the crypto space because they see it as less profitable, or it was just put in there so that they can make more money off of us. It could be both. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I think it sucks. I talked about wanting to do a petition. Not that it would do any good, but still, it's like I feel like I can't just sit back and do nothing. I did see somebody online. I saw a talk of somebody did a petition. I got to find it. If there's already one and it's a good written petition, I am going to post it, repost it, try to get as many signatures on it as I can, because at least we can say we didn't just sit back and take it. Another thing that can and should be done is people should be calling their representatives, their senators or congressmen, and bitching at them and telling them how pissed off they are. All right, again, will it do any good? Probably not, but at least you can say that I did something. All right, instead of bitching about it on social media, and I'm guilty of that too because I've bitched about it. But like I said, I want to do a petition. I'd like to find somebody who's going to be able to word it really well. So again, anybody who maybe has done a petition before, who has written something of that nature, who feels that they can word it well, please contact me, because if you want to do that, I will push it every video I make. I'll push it on the Block Party podcast, I'll push it on my videos, I'll tweet it, I'll put it in all the Telegram communities I'm a member of, and I will try to get as many signatures on it as I can. I just want someone's help writing it. So, but the tax situation, it sucks. I hate it. I don't agree with it. And I keep thinking about Ron Paul. When he ran for office for president in 2012, it's obvious they couldn't, they being, the establishment, couldn't let him get in. It's funny, whenever you saw on the news, the candidates of the 2012 presidency, he was never even on the list. They gave him no coverage, the mainstream media, that is. They acted like he didn't exist. But, I wish we had a man like that for president. Now, I'm not saying I hate Trump, because I like a lot of what he's doing. This here, though, this bill that he signed, and I don't think he put this in the bill. I think it was Congress, obviously, that I don't think he directed them to put this in the bill. It's their greed. But regardless, if we had a man like Ron Paul for president, I don't think this bill would have got signed. A true libertarian. All right. If I'm not mistaken, Ron Paul had his own cryptocurrency. So, if they try to regulate us to the point where, if they try to regulate us or regulate the crypto space in the United States and shut down exchanges, and I'm just saying, I don't know if this will happen or not, but if it was to ever happen, Silvertooth mentioned, prohibition. The same thing would happen, all right? They cannot stop the crypto space. They know they can't stop it. People would go underground, all right? There would be a whole underground community of people in the crypto space. That's all that would happen. All right, it would make things a little harder, but as human beings, we adapt. All right, we adapt and we overcome, and it is in our nature as humans to want to be free. Okay, so the way that things are going right now, it's obvious they don't want us to be free. All right, they want to run us and control us, control our money, because if you control the money, you control the population. All right, so that is the biggest thing for them. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this whole quote-unquote war on cryptos. Is it really happening? Is it coincidental? A lot of these things that are happening. I want to know your take on it. Do you agree with Silvertooth? Or, you know, like me, I agree with some of the things he said, and I think some of them are just coincidental. So let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter at TruthBlitzMedia. Subscribe to the Block Party Podcast official channel in the description. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when we put out a new episode. We got a very special guest coming on this weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next time.